What's up, CFO fam? It's your boy J Tuck, Cowboys Up. What's going on? You guys know the drill. You can find me on cowboysfansonly.com. Also, subscribe to the channel somewhere down there, somewhere down there, somewhere down there. But man, it's been a dark week for Cowboys fans. So I decided let's lighten things up a little bit. So I'm bringing in one of the OGs of this whole Cowboys thing who needs no further introduction. My guy, Law Nation. What's going on, man?
Oh my goodness, man. Without the hesitation for the nation, man. I just want to tell everybody, man, I love being on this channel everywhere talking about the Dallas Cowboys. You know how this thing go, right? One
Yeah.
way or another.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on to the channel, man. Like I said, it's been a dark week for Dallas Cowboys fans. We lost our leader and lost our quarterback. So tell me, man, how are you feeling about everything going on right now?
Well, here's the situation. If our division was not as trash as it is,
Right,
I would feel really down,
right,
right? But I kind of look at it like, hey, our division is a dog fight, yes, but there's no separation right now. And right now, collectively speaking, we got the quarterback with the most experience.
right.
Ripley's believe it or not, So I look at it like, okay, we got the best running back in the division, right? Right? Can
Right.
anybody out debate that?
Nah,
We got one of the best wide receiving core in this division. I don't think nobody can come close to that.
right.
And I think that we can put up points and stuff like that if they can just hit on all cylinders. And if this offensive line can just be decent, we'll be okay
Right, right. And that's what I
from the
tell a lot of
offensive side. I ain't gonna
yeah,
talk about the
yeah, I was
defense
going to
yet.
ask you, man. Like, I'm fully confident in Andy Dalton, his offense, and CeeDee Lamb, and Cedric Wilson, and Michael Gallup, and all those weapons you just mentioned. But this defense, man, and I know we lost Dak, but we also lost a critical piece of our defense. One of the few bright stars we did have on this defensive line was Tristan Hill. So what is your thoughts
Mhm.
for the defense? How do we fix this thing, or this just is our new identity?
Well, we building the plane while it's in the air. The
Right.
Jones has refused to go out there and make any investments on the defense as of right now. They
Right.
keep saying that we trust our guys, we trust our guys, and we yelling as fans, "Hey, go take a look at
Yeah,
this guy.
yeah. Quentin
Bring this
Williams, the
guy in for a
Jets.
cup of
Nah.
coffee."
Right.
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Pay your way to do something, to stop the bleeding right now. But it's one of those things where it's going to be a shootout. I think that this defensive front four, we do have some spotlights on that. You talk about
Mm.
shade of some spotlights and some
Right.
bright lights. Alden Smith is coming along.
Right.
D-Law got his first sack because I was going to only call him DeMarcus, but since he got him a sack
Get the
now, I,
law
I
back.
can give him the law back, right?
Okay. Got to earn that
Yeah,
law and order.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, defense did have some
Right,
bright
earn it.
spots. Everson Griffin, though, he had a sack and everything. But like I said, man, this run game, Poe, yeah, I'm not so sure about. Crawford and those guys. So I feel like Neville Gallimore, some of these guys Woods gonna need to really step up and solidify that interior. But speaking on the defensive side of the ball, there's been news reported today, and I don't know if they took him to Wakanda and gave him some vibranium, but Leighton Vander Esch should be returning
Right.
possibly on Monday. I mean, what is your thoughts on that, bro? Like, do you think it's too soon, or do you think it's if he's able to go, put him out there?
I wish you have that drop. How?
Right,
How?
right, right.
How? I don't know how this brother can come back from a broken collarbone or shattered collarbone, whatever it is or was, just that quick, unless
Right.
he's maybe Wolverine, maybe he's a lichen. Is that how they call those
Right.
wolves?
Well, yeah, the
Is he
Wolverine.
a
Like I said,
werewolf?
he's no longer the Wolf Hunter. He's Wolverine if he's
Yeah,
playing on Monday night. So
right. I
get the claws out and everything,
had
man.
to do the drop
Right, yeah, the
myself.
drop, yeah, do the drop, man. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I didn't expect Leighton Vander Esch to be back this soon, if any
Mhm.
this season, coming back from
Right.
a collarbone. Now, Cowboys fans, I know you guys were on me on Twitter saying it's not the same injury that Romo had, but we've been through this before. When we see someone come back early from a collarbone injury, we get so excited, and then moments later, he's
Mhm.
back clenching over it again. So I feel like for Leighton Vander Esch, don't rush unless you're 100% certain you can really come back, because he's playing the most collision position at the middle linebacker. Like, that's your job. It's where you get your money. To
Mhm.
bang out, have heavy collisions. With the neck surgery, now collarbone, you definitely want to take that into consideration and definitely tread lightly. But we shall see. So let's get
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
Monday night's matchup. Like I said, we've had a lot of injuries. We
Hmm.
had a lot of dark moments this past Sunday, though we did get the victory. But football goes on. So Monday night, the Dallas Cowboys will face the Arizona Cardinals. Law, how you feeling about Monday's matchup?
Mm. Oh, I just did a video with Candace in the Candace locker room, and she was talking about, hey, who's gonna guard DeAndre Hopkins? And it really puzzled me. I was
Right.
like, maybe it could be Jordan Lewis. It
Ooh.
won't be a Woozie because we don't know the status of him, right?
Right.
And I just don't know. Uh, is it Anthony Get Down Brown? Who gonna really guard? Is it Worley of the world? Who's gonna
Okay,
guard
we tossed the
DeAndre
rookie
Hopkins?
out
Can
there
you
on
help
him.
me out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not comfortable
Oh no.
tossing the rookie out on him, man. Like I said, if you think about this
Mm,
season, every top flight wide receiver from Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf,
mhm.
Odell Beckham Jr., they've all had big games against this Dallas Cowboys defense. And now we're going against the cream of the crop, the boss level guys, they'll say, man. So I really don't
Right.
know who they put on him. Maybe they, like I said, maybe they toss the rookie Diggs out there and say, he's yours, kids, have at it. But it's going to be a long, long night if they do that.
Well, here's the situation. Uh, when you think about Diggs when he guarded Julio, who was of that caliber,
Right.
Julio really kind of got him, right?
Right.
But Julio wanted to play basketball with the football. He dropped it a couple of times and
Right.
dribbled it. So my thing is, I don't think that this guy DeAndre Hopkins will do that, nor Isabella, nor the Christian Kirk, and who else? They got somebody else that is
Uh,
at the
the,
tip of
the,
my
the
tongue
old timer, Larry
that's
Fitzgerald.
really fast.
Oh,
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 Larry, they all reliable,
yeah, they
right?
old reliable. Yeah, they old reliable is still out there, and he's always had big games against the Cowboys. Because people forget the Cowboys. We
Mhm.
lost the last 4 out of 5 matchups against the Cardinals. So it's not like this is a team we dominated historically. So it's going to be a tough matchup, especially with our defensive side of the ball. But what are some things you think we can do to minimize, the explosiveness of this offense for the Cardinals?
Well, what we have to do is the last time we met up with DeAndre Hopkins, it was a close game, by the way. Anthony Brown, the same guy that I'm kind of like hurting and hating on a little bit,
Right.
putting out there. It forced he either forced a fumble or he picked up a fumble and ran it a few yards. So maybe if you can get an early fumble on him because he does carelessly hold the ball when he's running. So maybe we can do that. Maybe if you can do something about keeping this guy Kyler Murray inside the pocket,
Hmm.
not allowing him to get out there to the edge because he's so tiny. Maybe you can do that and create pressure. D
Hmm.
Law have to eat, as well as Alden Smith will have to eat. And since they're getting the Wolf Hunter back, maybe just maybe he can clog the passing lanes
Yeah,
with
and
his
that,
6'5" frame.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Cowboys team. The only hope I really have for this defense is if some of these guys are able to come off injury and have instant impact. Maybe LVE is going to have an instant impact. We saw
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Brown; he just came back and had a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Instant impact.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so maybe once we get Cheeto back and the old man Sean Lee, because I tell people, granted Sean Lee isn't that young dog he's used to being, but he's going to have everyone in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about miscommunications with Sean Lee on
Right.
the field. So maybe some of these mistakes that we're constantly seeing, these guys, these veterans will start to limit that. But the huge question mark that a lot of Cowboys fans have, and looks like the organization is never going to address, is this safety position. What is your thoughts on the
Mm.
safety position? Who is the guy? Because it looks like it's been just a rotation. I know we were all screaming on Sunday, who the heck is number 40? People may have thought that was me out there
40.
on the field. Number 4, I think that was Stephen Parker. Where did he came from out there? So he got some rotation. But what is your thoughts on the safety position, and what can we really do to shore this up?
Well, we saw Stephen Parker last week. He had a few blown assignments, and what's this guy named Daniel Jones? He was able to exploit it
Right.
and throw a big pass on him. Uh, Hopefully this week, I don't know if he's going to be active. I saw him on that list of practice squad eligible to be called up
Okay.
during the game or what have you. So what I can see here is that it could be the Donovan Wilson slash uh, Xavier Woods action again, and the
Okay.
musical chairs continue. Now, don't quote me on this, but I would prefer to have Parker still out there. Of course, Thompson still down at the box, but we still have a major issue that those guys can't really stop anything or cover anything uh, in a good fashion.
Right, right, and that's a huge question mark for a lot of those Cowboys fans, man. 'Cause especially with the wide receivers that we mentioned, you cannot get beat over top. You are a safety for a reason. You do not get beat over top.
Yes.
But that's your job. But it feels like there's so many miscommunications with this defense still. So let me ask you this question, Law. Do you think it's
Mhm.
personnel or do you think it's Mike Nolan's scheme?
It's a little mixture of both.
Okay.
We knew that there was going to be growing pains, and I know that the COVID, the pandemic, we can talk about that, but everybody had that, right?
Right.
Everybody had the same ailments coming into the season. Nevertheless, this particular team, the way we've been so confined to the cover two or the cover three type of scheme last year,
Hmm.
now all of a sudden you have different nuances. To me personally, you can throw in personnel because I really think in the hearts of hearts that Xavier Woods is a slot corner guy. I don't think that
Okay.
he's a necessary safety. So you got him playing out of position.
Right.
And then you have Darian Thompson, who really to me is a box guy who can play down close to the line. And he's a over aggressive at times.
Hmm.
But when you put him out in space, that's just something that he's not accustomed to do. And that's why you see on the back end receivers finding themselves living in the backfield because these guys are too confused on how to play deep safety or come down and hit when it's necessary when they're playing out in space. So it's one of those things where it's the Dallas Cowboys, in order to improve on that area, I'm sorry, you're going to have to make that necessary investment.
Yeah, yeah, and we all know how that goes. It doesn't look like they're going to make that investment. We were talking about
Mm-hmm.
the Honey Badger, how we missed out on him. Just safety after safety, opportunity after
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. For some reason, the Cowboys do not want to address that need. And I know that this past April with our draft class, we were excited about a lot of these players. On the offensive side of the ball, a lot of these new rookies are having some impact.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, we've seen Diggs out there, but do you think we're actually going to see a little bit more Bradley or not? Because I tell people this. Bradley and I,
Mm-hmm.
this past week against the Giants, he had one play. And if you watch film on it, he did the proper read. He gauged the bootleg on the play action. He slow played it, and then he rushed the passer Daniel Jones and almost got the sack. He was within inches of getting the sack. That was his last
Close.
play. So, do you think we're going to see a lot more of these younger guys on the defensive side of the ball, Reggie Robinson, Neville Gallimore, Bradley, and not really get their opportunity, or is this something that we're going to roll with these veterans that we have out there?
Well, you can check mark, put a check mark by Neville Gallimore. He's going to have more playing time.
Right,
My biggest reservation is the same thing with Taco Charlton when we had him.
right,
We had too many guys playing at the same side. Uh, D Law, as much as we love him, he's a left defensive end guy. He
right.
plays on that left side. So what happened here is that when we drafted Taco, guess what? Majority of his sacks, all but one in his career with the Dallas Cowboys, came on that side when he was subbing in or playing in space or in front of D Law on that particular side.
Hmm.
So when you go to the right defensive end aspect of it, you have Everson Griffin, who's the right defensive end, and you have Alden Smith, who plays at that right defensive end. Dorrance Armstrong, who primarily played at the right, but they kicked him to the left side. And
Right,
these dudes do got position to flex,
right.
but it's kind of like me, JT. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
So if I'm forcing you to do left-handed stuff, you can say, "Hey, coach," or "Hey, Law, I know how to do it, but you're forcing me to do it the opposite way."
Right,
I can do it, but I prefer to
right.
do it on this side. And I believe that we have in those situations because Bradley, not when I looked at his Utah film, he was on that side, the right defensive end side. So it could be a growing pain situation. And I do know that when we get Randy get down Gregory, he
Right.
plays on what side? The
Right,
right.
right
So
side.
it's hard to get productions out of somebody who you forcing them to play with their opposite hand. And these guys would never admit it because they professional players.
Right,
But 9 times out of 10, for those who look at the film, we can say he's not that comfortable playing on
right.
that side.
And I know these guys won't admit it. I'll admit it. When I played football in college, man, me putting my left hand in the
Uh-huh.
dirt, it wasn't the same as when I put my right hand in the dirt because you're just
Right.
uncomfortable. It doesn't feel as natural. And so, yeah, it definitely does
Hmm.
play into consideration. Now let's transition over to the offensive side of the ball because that's where everyone seems to be spending a lot of their focus. Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton, Andy Dalton. Do you
Hmm.
believe that Andy Dalton has enough to overcome all the different things we spoke about thus far with the turnovers, the lack of defense, bad decision making from Mike McCarthy, like all these different things? Do you think Andy Dalton can overcome these issues and really put this team on his back and carry us to this division to the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out the negative first, then I'm gonna talk positive
Okay.
about it if that's okay
Yeah,
with you. You know, I
go
know you're
ahead,
supposed to
man.
say
You gotta
positive
keep it
and then
real.
negative, but I'm gonna do negative. You know, then I'm gonna go all positive.
Right.
All right, so his first play was a fumble, and you can say it's not his fault, but the other play was almost merely a pick six, and it
Right.
was on an out route. It was on one of those passes. Whereas when you look back when he was in Cincinnati land, I think he had three pick six because of the fact when he tried to throw that out route, that ball kind of got a little too much wind and air under it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
straight and to the point.
Right.
Now, he do got a great decision making and anticipation of the ball. That's his strong suit. And yes, he can throw the fade ball. He got a good little touch on that, and he can throw a vertical ball. It may not get there, but the type of wide receivers we got that can climb the ladder, pull the ball out of the sky, I think he will be serviceable enough for us to still win. Now, here's what we got to do. We got to limit him, just like when Tony Romo had his best season was in 2014 when they limit him. Not saying that Tony Romo couldn't throw the ball all over the field, but
Right.
the Cowboys had to limit him. So
Right.
what I'm trying to say, Cowboy Nation, I'm trying to declare and decree that we can win if we just limit him. Do not give this guy 40 to 50 times to throw the ball, but give him a good amount of time of balance. And I think that with his veteran leadership and his veteran experience, that we can be victorious in the offensive line, as poor as we are. If he can just go one, two, three, and he's going to get that ball out, I
Right.
think that we can go far.
Quick reads, quick
Mm-hmm.
reads, and feed this
Quick
beast
reads.
back here, Ezekiel Elliott. So with Ezekiel
Yeah.
Elliott, Tony Pollard, we know how important the run game is right now. It's probably more important than it has ever
Mm-hmm.
been in Zeke's career. What do you expect from Ezekiel Elliott for the rest of the season?
Man, if we can get a game like he had against the Giants every week,
Right.
that's good.
Okay.
That 91 rushing yards, I think that we needed a little bit more attempts for him to get to the sweet number of 25 attempts. It's like a unbelievable number. I'm pulling it out of the sky. I think that we're north of 500 when he get over 25 attempts a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a very favorable number. Somebody that's watching, y'all can post that in the community box or in the chat log there of what our record are or what our record is once Ezekiel get over 25 attempts. But the thing is I want people to understand this too. Just because the Giants was porous or poor as it relates to offense, I think the defense was pretty straight, huh? You know
Yeah.
that defense was pretty tops, huh?
Right. Right.
Yeah, it was not wasn't like no bottom half of a defense. So
Right.
so I think Ezekiel Elliott still was able to run against Dexter Lawrence and all of those guys. So hopefully this weekend he can still continue that pathway. And normally it takes running backs a little longer to get their stride. And hopefully this will be his game that he get his first 100 yards and everybody run and under I guess the inspirational aspect for number four.
Yeah, run the damn ball, man. My guy Laws and Torres wearing that hat,
Run the
man.
damn
Run
ball.
run the damn ball. I think that's going to be critical for the Cowboys' success for the rest of the season. And I'm not going to keep you too long, but the wide receiver core, we all know the talent that we have
Mm.
on that side. But are you worried about any continuity issues with Andy Dalton and these wide receivers since he really hasn't been getting those reps like Dak had all offseason with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and these guys?
Well, I think that CD Lamb, no matter what type of ball you throw his way, I think that he can find it. I think that the continuity that Andy have, or AD is that's what they calling him now.
AD. Okay.
AD got a good confidence with number 13. You can call him Lucky 13 all you want, but Michael Gallup, he can high point the ball. I think that the people that he may not have the most confidence in is probably Cooper,
Okay.
but Cooper disappears so much anyway. So
Ooh,
uh
yep.
and I think, and I like Cooper. I think Cooper might have his better game now because the way, and I'm not throwing any shade or any salt at Dak Prescott, but the way, I'm about to say Carson, but the way Andy Dalton, I'm thinking of Carson Palmer. Every time
Uh,
those names always give me a
I
Carson
know,
Palmer
right?
and
They all
Dalton.
make, blending together.
I always get them
Yeah.
mixed up, and I
Right.
put them together, but and they kind of play similar,
Right.
same type of talent almost.
Right.
Neither here nor there. But the way Andy Dalton throws the ball, I think that it could be a situation whereas Cooper can find a way to eat. Not saying it's a comparison analysis that he's a better thrower of the ball than Dak Prescott because I get all of that.
Gotcha. You know how our fan base is.
You
They'll
know what
they'll
I'm
leech
saying?
on to that and run with it.
Yeah.
So Monday night, Cowboys
Right.
versus the Cardinals at AT&T Stadiums. What's your expectations for this game?
Oh my goodness. We come out inspired. We play with a passion, heart, determination. This is our final home game, and then we got to go on the road for 2 games, right? Something
Right.
like that. Uh, and so I just think that we just need to start off fast. And I think that with our experience playing at home, playing on a Monday night, I think that we give the young phenom over there, Kyler Murray, a run for his money, and it'll be a high scoring game on both sides.
Yeah, like I said, I've been calling this
But with
the
the Cowboys with the dub, though.
the Cowboys get the dub. I've been calling this the Jerry Maguire gang, man, because you watch Jerry Maguire, you better not mess up for Monday Night Football. It was the Cowboys versus the Cardinals, and funny story I'll tell everyone. My dad actually coached Colin Murray until high school, so my dad's been trying to
Mm.
bet
Oh
me
wow.
that Kyler's going to go over for 350 passing, and if Kyler does, I got to take him out to dinner. I'm like, Dad, if you really want dinner that bad, just hit me up and I'll take you. So hopefully this Dallas Cowboys defense can actually show up, show some momentum, contain Kyler Murray, because we need something to really go off of. I thought last week's game versus the Giants, that was going to give us a little momentum, something to hang our hat on as far as defensively. Didn't see much. Jason Garrett and his offense was able to do pretty much whatever they wanted, whenever they want. So hopefully this game on
Hmm.
Monday Night Football, while the whole world is watching, the defense will step forward and the Cowboys will play big and actually end with the victory. So I know people really don't need to know where you're at because they can always find you everywhere, man, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, the Fire Stick app. But go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you, man.
At all of those locations that you just mentioned at LAW Nation, you'll see either my face or logo on those platforms there. And I really, really appreciate each and every last one of you all that's tuning in. Don't forget to hit up Fan to Fan Network.
Right.
That's where you can go to that particular website and find a slew of things. Man, we got
Right.
content creations of all 32 teams, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it's straight, strong opinion. Got articles out there, so check it out, Fan to Fan Network, and you'll see my face and logo there, and as well as your content.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Fan to Fan as well. And also for you guys watching my channel, you know the drill. Cowboys fans only. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter at jtuck151. And then Cowboys fans, go to cowboysfansonly.com to get all your CFO gear and your merchandise, man. We've been creating a lot of different shirts and t-shirts for you guys, man. So I appreciate all the support. Law, I appreciate you coming on, man. Hopefully things are going to settle down with this Dallas Cowboys team. We're going to get these things back rolling, man.
Yes, indeed. Let's do this thing once a week. Let's
Let,
go.
let's get it. Let's get it, man. J Tuck and Law Nation, man. We're here for you guys. So Cowboys Nation, you know what I always say. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and we'll see you guys on Monday night. Cowboys up. Peace out.
Let's go.